My name is Coach Danny Wilson. I am born and raised in Bayonne, New Jersey.
Okay.
Played my high school basketball for Bayonne High. Graduated in the class of '94.
Okay.
Yeah, I was a two-time All Hudson County performer, and I played my college ball for legendary Coach Charles Brown at Jersey City State College, which is now NJCU.
Oh man, that's our man. That's our man.
Yeah, Coach Brown, that's my guy, man. That's my guy.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow. We got a grandson plays with us now too. Our agent's grandson plays with us, Mark Brown Jr.
Yes.
His son.
Yes. Yeah. So actually the current Coach Brown, when he was done playing with Sienna and he was playing overseas, he used to come back and play with us in open gym. And he used to destroy us every weekend. Every now and then he would take it easy.
So big.
For the most part, Mark used to tear us up. Listen, he had the name Showbiz for a reason.
Definitely did.
Yes, sir.
And he'll talk you want to commit suicide on the court. I'll tell you that.
It was unreal watching him. Like, he was one of the first guys that I seen live every day, showing us what it took to perform at that professional level. You know what I'm saying? Like, it didn't matter to him whether it was open gym or whether he was playing in the Harry James Pro-Am League that I was also fortunate enough to play in.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. I played in that too. So, it didn't matter what it was. He was always in game mode. And that was something that all the players that played at Jersey City State, whenever we saw him, we always, took that from him and made sure we tried to incorporate that in our game as much as possible.
That's what's up.
That's great, bro. That's great. That's great, man.
And we're trying to get him on the podcast one of these days.
Yeah, man.
He's like undercover.
He's busy, man. Listen, my alma mater, man, we're still one of the top-ranked Division III men's basketball programs in the country.
We are.
When I was there, 2 or 3 of the years, we were top 15 in the country in Division III.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And that conference, it historically has always produced some of the best Division III talent. Arguably, well, I think he's the greatest, but some people might argue it may be Devin George, but because he's a Jersey guy and I played against him, the NHACG produced the best Division III basketball player ever, Mr. Horace Jenkins.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. No doubt. Wow.
And he was on.
Yeah. So I saw when he was on your show too. I sat and I watched it and I commented on it. So it was cool to see him on there, man. Shout out to Horace, man. The dude's a legend. He's a legend.
Yes, he is.
He's somebody that can show these kids that it doesn't matter what level you play at. This guy played at Division III, William Patterson, a non-scholarship program, and played at the highest level for the Detroit Pistons. So it doesn't matter where you start. It doesn't matter where you finish. It's just how you produce and handle yourself.
That's true, man.
Real talk, Coach. Real talk, man. Wow.
Yeah.
Coach, who are your teammates at Jersey? Who are your teammates when you were at JCU? Who's your teammates?
Oh, man. Another great teammate of mine. He's now currently on the staff. He's in the NJCU Hall of Fame. My guy, Mr. Abdul Madison.
Boys, I mean, yes, sir.
Yeah, Ab was a sophomore when I came in as a freshman. I also played with another legendary player, especially around here in these parts. My guy Omar Cooper, his son Sharif, and his daughter are both in the NBA and the WNBA currently. He came
Yes.
Omar came in with me as a freshman, my freshman year in '94, when we won the NHACG. We were the last team to win the NHACG as Jersey City State College, because when they won it after that, they had changed the name to NJCU. So I was fortunate enough to be a part of history with that too, man.
Wow.
There we go.
That's good, man. Real talk. Wow, that's good.
There we go.
Hey, you see anybody on the show you want to shout out? Give a lot of people join us. See anybody you want to give them a shout out. You see anybody that people know. Go ahead.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, there's some people on. Listen, whoever's on and you know, that they follow me, I greatly appreciate you guys. You know, like I told you, Coach Basil, I didn't want to talk too much about me, but I'll just give a little bit more info. So after my college playing days, I got into coaching. I want to say around 2008, 2009, I was fortunate enough to be an assistant coach at my alma mater, Bayonne High School. I coached there for an assistant for a year. And then after that, I was blessed with a real major opportunity. I had the chance to be an assistant coach and director of recruiting for Brookdale Community College down in Lynn
Oh,
Creek.
sure.
Yeah, so I got down there in the 2012, 2013 season. And fortunately for us, when I showed up, we had won the national championship that year. We were the number one ranked Division III junior college team in the country. We were 33-1 and won the national championship.
Wow.
Yeah, we had some players that probably around that time they were about to go there.
I think so. Yes.
Yeah, we had a couple of players. Well, at least one. Yeah, I can't remember his name.
Right.
Yeah, but he was going to go there.
A newer kid, a young man by the name of Joe Nickerson.
Oh, okay, sure. Yes.
Joe was phenomenal for us, man. He was a major catalyst on our 2013 national championship team. He came back his sophomore year, preseason All-American, helped lead us back to the Final Four. And then Joe went on to play his last 2 years at University of District of Columbia, Division II program in Washington, D.C.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, I was at Brookdale from 2012 to 2018, and in 2018 we won the national championship again. This year we were 34-0, undefeated.
Oh, wow!
Yeah. That was a magical team. That was an amazing run. Seeing all that transpire from the beginning, it was amazing to watch because as a coach, and you guys know this as coaches, when your team is special, right? You see them every
This
it's a feeling.
Yeah, the camaraderie building with them. You see them in the locker room, but never in my wildest dreams, if somebody would have told me that we were going to go undefeated, that I would have never believed that. But we ran the table. That team was. I believe that was probably the best Division III junior college basketball team that I ever seen. Now, there might have been others before I got there, but I know with my own 2 eyes, that was the best team that I ever seen.
Wow. It's amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing. So 2018, I left Brookdale and I started to go full throttle with my business, which is NHACG, North Hudson Athletic Consulting Group. The business was already established in 2008, but I went full throttle with it in 2018, just due to the fact that seeing so many talented players playing in that conference, that junior college conference, and these guys weren't getting exposure that they deserved. You know what I'm saying? These guys were all conference players, all region players, some of them all American, and then they're only playing 2 years of junior college ball and not playing anyplace else. So I basically went full throttle with my business to dedicate my time to help get these young men and women, exposure to colleges, not just in the area, but outside of the area. I was getting them exposure to Division IIs down south and in the Midwest. And, I introduced a lot of players to NAIA basketball, which they've never even heard of because the NAIA is not something in the East Coast.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Wow, okay.
So that was my main focus, just to educate and get guys exposure. And then I was blessed with another opportunity again at the start of this season by Coach Winston Smith, former St. Patrick's to UMass.
Yeah, very well.
Yeah, Winston. He's the head men's basketball coach down at Middlesex.
Okay.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Oh wow. Okay. You told me that because I was on the phone for that. So you make two ball players down there, the
Yep.
Link boys.
Yeah.
Lynn,
So
and
I'm the director of recruiting and basketball operations person down at Middlesex. So I'm just really blessed, man, to be in the position to really help and give back to these athletes. And just like I told you earlier, Coach, I'm trying to educate them. You know what I'm saying?
yes.
Let them know that there's different ways and there's different avenues to get to where you want. And playing junior college basketball is not a bad thing. I've coached
Right
several
on.
schools at the Division III junior college level. So if you really want to do it, and if you have skill set, make it happen. It'll happen for you.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
That's deep.
Yeah.
So what's the process like? Because Basil said he wanted to get recruited. He still has eligibility.
I don't know. Check your eligibility, man. I don't know how many years of eligibility you got.
He told me before. Actually, my day is over.
He said, ask him how the process, because he still has eligibility. That's what he said. Now, I don't know why.
Coach,
I don't know. I don't know if I can help you, Coach, but I can definitely give you some information or some young people on how to start the process. So basically, listen, what people need to understand, especially the young people and the parents, they need to understand that college sports is a business.
Yes, sir.
It is designed to make money. So briefly, the best way I can explain it to you, that college coach that is recruiting you, they are recruiting you because they think that you can help them win games. And if you help them win games, then they get to retain their contract. You know what I'm saying? So
okay.
So that's the business aspect of it. If that coach doesn't continue to win games, he doesn't get paid. So he has to.
That's right.
He has to recruit people that's going to help him win games and help his family maintain their lifestyle. So that's the first thing you got to understand. That the fun and games aspect of it stops the minute you're done playing high school basketball. When you become a college athlete, it is a full-time job. There's no off season. You are constantly in your sport. Whether there's games or not, you're always training. You're always doing something, trying to work on your craft to get better.
So how do you guide the kids to, like, what do you do? Like camps, or you just get their bio and you reach out, or how do you do it on your end?
True.
Or is that too much information and I have to get killed?
Oh, not at all. Listen, there's no there's no magic dust or anything that I sprinkle on. It's a tedious process. So when I get a player that reaches out to me and says, "Hey, coach, I need help getting exposure to college," the first thing I need to see is film. I need to see how well they perform, and I have to evaluate that film. Once I evaluate that film, then I get back in contact with that player and their parent and their coach, if their coach is a part of the process, and I tell them what level I see them at. I either see them as a Division II player, Division III, an NAIA player or a Juco guy. I give them my assessment of it. Once I give them the assessment of it, they also have to be in agreement of that. You know what I'm saying? Because if I think you're a Division III player, but the player thinks he's a Division II player, then my services is not going to work for you because we just don't see eye to eye on that. You know what I'm saying? So there has to be an agreement on both sides before I start the process of going to the next level. So once there's an agreement on both sides, so then we have to target the schools that need what that specific player does well.
Right.
Wow.
You see what I'm saying? Like, there's no reason for me to market a player that likes to play in a fast-paced offense and wants to go up and down and market him to a school that plays a Princeton-style offense and slows the game down and plays half court. It's never going to. You know what I'm saying? So what I always tell the players, I need to identify and target their transferable skill. Once I find out what your transferable skill is, now we can find the right school that needs your specific skill set.
Okay, that's good. Okay.
So once we do that and we narrow down the list of schools, and that has to be a fit on a lot of different levels. So it has to be a fit playing style. It has to be a fit academically. There's no sense for me marketing you to the school if they don't have your major.
True.
So the academic component has to fit. And then we also have to take into consideration, do you want to go to school in state? Do you want to go to school out of state?
Okay.
Like there are several different contributing factors that go into the recruiting process. And what I try to tell players and parents that never ever compare your recruiting process to your teammates or somebody you may see on social media, because the recruiting process is going to be the same. Even the top 5, 10 high school players in the country, all of them, their recruiting processes are the same because they all want different things at the end of it. So what I do with my business, it is very, very tailored and specific to the player that I'm helping. I don't do with one player what I did with another player. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just not going to work.
Okay.
True.
Like I said, it's a tedious process, but this is what you have to do in order to find the right fit.
Hold on. You got the COVID?
No,
stop coughing. All right, now we back. I gotta make sure he ain't giving me nothing. He too close to me. So now you done narrowed it down. So now what's your next step? Do you have to talk to the school?
Right. Do you now once we narrow down a list of 10, 20, 30, however many schools it is, right? Now I have to generate an email.
Okay.
Sorry.
An email, and that email again has to be specific and highlight that player's strengths. You know what I'm saying? So if there's an academic component that I really want to highlight in the email, because that's something you're not going to be able to see on film, then I will tell a parent, supply me with the GPA, supply me with your national class rank, supply me with the SAT or ACT scores so I can best market you, so you can have maximum exposure to the schools that are best suited for you to be successful.
Okay.
Wow. You really be doing your homework.
Yeah, see.
You have to. Like, I just to make it, make sense. If I have a young man or a young lady that's an outstanding 3-point shooter, then I need to market her to a school that shoots the 3-ball a lot. I'm not going to market her or him to a school that has a dominant post player, because they're not going to shoot a lot of threes. It's not going to be a good fit. So you have to look at stats too, or teams that are struggling from the 3-point line. They need an efficient 3-point shooter. So now they would be open to recruit a person that's a good 3-point shooter. So there's a lot of different variables that go into it. And like I said, it's a tedious process.
Now let me continue, because I want to hear the ending product. So the ending product, all right, now you come back, you say, what's the ending product like? Because I don't know. I just recruit kids out of high school.
Right, sure.
And it's something. So,
listen, the ending product will be successful because I have, in a way, manipulated the process. I've only sent your film to the people that need you. So of course they're going to be interested.
Okay.
I'm not going to waste your time or my time sending your film to somebody that I know that doesn't need you.
True. I get that. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So we eliminate a lot of the downtime, so we have a high success rate. So when we send the film out, we know we're going to get responses because I've done the research already, and I know the coaches that I've targeted are going to like you. So they're going to reach out. It's just a matter of when.
That's tough. That's tough, because I tell you, Coach, we had a couple of kids we had before, and they are like everybody's go wants to go.
Chase my dog.
Everybody wants to go D1. You know what I'm saying? Right. So then we have players that say, well, you're not really a D1 player. Try something different. And then what do you do? So say it was myself. Okay. He's stuck on D1 basketball. He switched to one player.
Right.
And Okay, and you say,
well, you get them kids,
and you say that, all right, yeah, I guess I'm doing school, but you might be teacher better be better fit for you. How do you convince him that the teacher's better fit for him than D1 school? How do you convince him? Well, or D3, rather?
That could be a difficult thing to do. I grew up in an era where if you were a Division I player, you were the most dominant player every time on the floor. So without having a young man or a young woman, how do you expect to be a Division I player and you're not even the best player in your county?
Oh, sounds good. Okay, facts.
The stats don't lie.
True. Wow, facts.
You can't tell me that you should be a Division I player, but you're not the best player in your area where you're from.
Yeah, that's true.
That's okay.
Because
makes sense.
There are young men and young women that are sitting on the bench at Division I, low-level Division I schools, right? That have scored 1,500 points, 1,800 points in high school. And they're sitting on the bench at low-level Division I programs. You see what I'm saying? So you got to keep things into perspective when you're talking about, I want to play Division I. Another question to ask somebody who wants to go Division I, can you handle someone coming to take your job every year for the next 4 years?
Wow.
Because that's what Division I is. Every
you're right.
You're there, your coach is looking to find someone to do your job better than you. Can you mentally handle it? You know?
Yes.
That's what it is. You know what I'm saying? And now what these young men and young women have to understand, the competition that they thought they had before, it's intensified by 100 because of the transfer portal.
Yes, that's so true, Coach.
Very true.
That's so true.
I just had a conversation with one of my former players' fathers. We were just talking about, he's in the D2 right now. Right. And we just had that same conversation, man. Same conversation.
And let me give you the perspective of a coach, right? At let's say a high-level Division II program. Now, I have an opportunity to recruit a kid out of high school, right, who's probably good enough to play at my level. You know what I mean? He might have been honorable mention All-State or whatever, what have you. He has the accolades. Or I have an opportunity to take a guy that's in the transfer portal that already played a year or two at Division I. Who do you think I'm going to take?
I'm going to take that D1.
Yeah, that's right.
That's a steal.
The guy that's already proven instead of taking the kid that I don't know how he's going to pan out.
That's true.
Wow.
And waste my money.
That's it.
What's happening now in the recruiting aspect of things is that kids that were borderline Division I players, right, that were getting scholarships, and you might have looked at them and been like, man, like, is he really good enough to play there? Now that kid is not getting that opportunity anymore.
Right.
Now that kid has to look at Division II or possibly Division III because now the high-level Division II spots are being taken by low-level Division I transfers.
True.
So now what do? How do you attack it? You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to be open to every level of competition, because every level of competition is now, has max talent in it. This is not 20, 30 years ago.
True.
Wow. Okay. Coach, I remember a few years ago, I guess in the 90s, I guess.
Okay.
Roscoe Harris. I think he transferred to D2 school.
I played against Roscoe in high school and in college.
Right. He went to Villanova. He transferred to D2 school. Another Corey Chandler. Remember him? I think East Side. Corey Chandler was the East Side. He started Rutgers.
Yeah. R.I.P. to Corey Chandler too. No, not Corey Chandler. I'm sorry. The other young man that went to Missouri, went to Seton Hall. He passed away.
Lake Carol Lawrence.
Yes. My apologies to Corey. God bless you. But yes, Roscoe Harris, I know well. He was a 2,000 point scorer at Marist High School.
Yes, no doubt.
He went to Villanova. He played there while Kerry Kittles was there.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Okay, and part of the issue Roscoe had, unfortunately, Raleigh Massimino that recruited him to go to Villanova. When Roscoe came in, Coach Massimino took the job at UNLV.
Right,
Oh,
right.
Yeah, that's rough.
Right.
Same. So
Right.
that was a time where transferring was frowned upon. You know, like guys didn't transfer, especially at big time programs like that. At Villanova, you're not transferring from out of Villanova. But
No.
Roscoe stayed there. You know, unfortunately, it didn't work out for him, and he transferred not Division II, coach. He transferred to Division III rowing.
There you go, coach. You're right. Yes, sir. You're right. Yes, sir. You're right, coach.
Okay.
That's it.
He
That's it, coach. You're right.
transferred into the NJAC, Division III,
Yep.
Rowan
Yep.
University, and just to give you a little bit of history on that team had 4 Division I transfers.
Right. That's what the coach. You're so right. Yes. Yes. Yes.
That was the 95-96 season. That was my sophomore year at Jersey City State. Rowan University was ranked number 1 in the country at Division III. They had they had Roscoe Harris that transferred in from Villanova. They had Demetrius Poles that went to St. Joe's.
Yes.
They also had Antoine Dasher, his Roscoe's teammate at Marist that went to FDU, scored 1,000 points there. And then they also had a gentleman by the name of Chris McShane that was at LaSalle. So they had 4 Division I transfers on playing Division III basketball.
There you go. That's it. Yes, coach.
I can tell you, I played against them firsthand. That team was phenomenal. They were loaded. They could beat you inside. They could beat you outside. But when they were Division I in the number 1 in the country in Division III, and they came to Jersey City, we did beat them.
Okay.
We actually knocked them out of being number 1.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. We knocked them out of being number 1, and we played Rowan 4 times that year. We played them twice in the regular season. We played them in the NJAC playoffs, and we also played them in the Division III NCAA tournament.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. We had some epic games against them, man. That team was a lot of fun to play against. They beat us a lot, so that wasn't fun, but it was just fun. It was fun playing against them. Those guys, they're all great guys, man. I still talk to some of them still to this day. Another person that was on that Rowan team is the current head coach at Georgian Court University, Coach Terrence Stewart.
Okay. Yeah. Sure. Yes.
He was on that Rowan team as well. That went on to win the Division III national championship that year.
Wow, that's phenomenal. Yeah, because they don't sit out. You don't sit out.
A lot of Jersey guys on that team, man. So that's something that a lot of people just don't realize how much talent this state produces. It's unreal.
That is so true.
It's unreal.
Yeah,
talent this state produces.
Wow.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
I mean, that's crazy. That's crazy. All went to run to the NJAC and just made things happen.
Yeah, like during that time, it was Jersey City State. We won the NJAC. Then Rowan won the NJAC, and then here comes Horace. He comes, and then they take over for the next 2 or 3 years. So the NJAC was producing the top 4 or 5 teams in Division III for like a good 5 to 7 year span. And it was all right here on Jersey talent.
Wow.
People wouldn't have known.
That's it. I always say, if everybody from Jersey would stay home, man, we'd be fine.
We'd be a powerhouse.
Yeah. Everybody wants to go out. Well, I don't understand. Why would you want to stay home? New York City, the Mecca, is right across the bridge. You know what I'm saying? Why go down to Kentucky, go down, not just these states, but I mean, what's better than New York City media? What's better?
New Jersey.
Coach, but I'm going to tell you one of the major differences about now as opposed to then.
Okay.
When I was playing AAU basketball, it it was not infiltrated by the sneaker companies yet. Once the sneaker companies got involved, that changed the landscape of things. So
Right.
now, when you have Nike schools, you have Adidas schools, you have Under Armour schools, they each have their own circuit to recruit from. Because
True.
if you are, on a Nike, team, you can't play on the Under Armour circuit.
Right.
That's true.
Right.
That's true.
So the sneaker companies, what they have done, they have regionally cornered the market.
I've been said that. Yes, they have.
It's split.
They have.
It's split. It's divided. So you're only going to see a certain amount of kids in certain regions. You're not going to see those other kids because that sneaker company is not prominent or dominant in that area.
Wow.
Drawing the kids from the greater Northeast area, they're taking them down south, they're taking them to the Midwest, they're taking them out to California, out to Texas, because now what those sneaker companies have done, have set up base there to draw the talent out there.
Wow.
That's real talk.
Yeah, see, yeah.
We have that talk all the time about
yes.
Adidas. Like I could talk about it. Like when the scandal came out, and me and him had a big conversation about that. And it's like, when it comes to AAU, a lot of these kids get shuttled to a college that's already an Adidas affiliated college.
Right.
So I said, and they all do it.
Absolutely, they all do it. It's just who does it better than the other to not get caught.
That's what it comes down to.
Yes, Coach.
That's what it comes down to.
Yes.
That's what it comes down to.
But everybody does it. Everybody has their hands in. I can't say whether it's good or bad, because you guys know for a long time our young athletes were being exploited and they were getting nothing for it. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
So now that young men and these young women have an opportunity to cash in, I'm not mad at it at all. Because look how many years we got nothing other than sweatsuits and bags.
That's it. That's it.
You know what I'm saying?
And if you took
colleges are making multi-million dollars off of us. So I don't have a problem with these young men and women knowing their worth, because they should know their worth, and they're getting the opportunity to cash in on their worth.
That's what's up.
That's true, Coach. That's amazing. Yes, you're right. Yes.
What I don't want to see them. I don't want to see them, and excuse the language that I'm using, I don't want to see them pimp themselves. I don't want to see them do that, but I do want to see them get the most out of what they're supposed to get out of their value while they can. Because there's going to come a point where you're not as valuable as you once were. So you need to maximize on that opportunity now.
That's correct. That's correct.
Coach. Wow.
That's definitely correct.
True.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like they're young people out there that are cashing in on these NIL deals with major Fortune 500 companies. You know what I'm saying? Like if they play their cards right, and if they buy into the company and get stock options, they never have to worry about playing a sport again. They can just sit back and put their feet up and let their money work for them. You know what I'm saying? While they're not working.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Like if you want to talk about, the hustle and the grind, that's the ultimate hustle, is having your money work for you while you're not working.
Smart.
Damn right.
That's smart. Hey.
So
100%, baby.
I hope these, young athletes don't get blinded by the amount of money that they're throwing at you now. You know what I'm saying? Because the money that they're throwing at you now, that's peanuts compared to what they're making off of you.
Thank you. Thank you. That's real talk. Thank you, Coach. Exactly. Peanuts. Would you okay? Yes.
That's definitely
yes.
Like we look at the contracts that the players get, and when they're getting the $250 million, and yes, that is life-changing money. I completely understand that. But do you know how much money the person has to have in order to give one guy $250 million?
He has to be a billionaire.
Yeah.
Like there's 15 guys on the basketball team. There's 52 men on the NFL roster. Like, you know how much that owner has to have and for everybody to be a millionaire on the team?
Yes.
Yes. True.
Yes.
Wow.
He's like the no, he probably got more than the jackpot right now for the lottery.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. Like, I would love to see our players, get into these ownership, leadership, uh, positions and start being able to empower in another way. It's great for players to, help other players get to the pro level. One guy makes it, he comes back to his area and he does some camps and clinics and help brings up another professional athlete. That is great. We've been doing that for centuries, right? But
Right.
we still are not in the position where we can call the shots and give a person that didn't get drafted an opportunity to get a job because we don't own anything.
Exactly. There you go. Yeah, exactly.
So what I'm hoping what'll happen with the NIL stuff is that they will get educated enough on the business aspect of things and be able to get into the ownership side of it and start, getting teams, or even in the collegiate level, if we can have some more, African American athletic directors, like we make up 90% of the population of collegiate athletics, but we still don't call the shots.
You're right.
Yes, you no doubt. Yes, Coach.
So
hit on the head right there. Yes.
like I love what Coach Sanders is doing with, pushing and promoting the HBCUs. You know what I'm saying? That's great. Get back into revenue. But imagine having, somebody that's at a major college that can control the funds and allocate them differently. You know what I'm saying? Like there's just so many different endless opportunities that, athletes can go into once their playing days are done. And I just hope they take the opportunities to explore that, like I'm doing right now. And like I'm still connected to the game that I love, even though I can no longer physically play and compete, but I'm still giving back to the game. And I'm in I guess you would call an administrative position that I can help put somebody else in a position to be a coach or be a player or, to get a job at the collegiate level. So I take that responsibility very serious.
That's great,
That's
sir.
great, Coach. That's great.
That's great, sir. Thank God somebody.
Yeah, somebody exactly.
Somebody doing it.
You got after Pat. That's great.
Somebody got it.
Yeah, and I know it's a lot of work you do, Coach. There's a lot of work, a lot of labor and everything too. I know it's not easy.
Yeah. Like you have to have your I's dotted and your T's crossed. But when you have that opportunity, you have to put somebody else in the forefront because somebody did it for me.
Yes.
All right.
I would have never got the job at Brookdale if Coach Paul Chisek didn't talk to me and give me an opportunity. He gave me an opportunity. And when I got the opportunity, I took it and ran with it. So now that I'm in that position to be able to give somebody else an opportunity, like one of the assistant coaches that coaches with us at Middlesex is one of my former players, Mr. Neil Thompson. He played for me at Brookdale. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
When we had the opportunity to get a coach, I spoke his name up because I know him personally, and I'm in the position to promote and push a young black athlete forward to put them in a position of leadership.
Okay. Perfect. Okay.
So that's I would like to see, a lot of that happen more because we just need it. We just need representation in administrative positions.
You're definitely right.
Yes,
you're definitely right. That goes across the board. You look at NFL football, college basketball, sometimes even the NBA, baseball.
Right.
It's all crazy. So we kind of you don't get a chance to. They invite us to the dance, but then they don't invite us to the dance.
Exactly. You come participate.
Yeah. So I mean, like I said, once we get in the opportunity, we got to start just plugging our people in. But when we get the opportunity to plug our people in, our people got to be ready too.
That's true
That's
too.
true. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's true too, man. That's definitely true.
You got to be ready. I can't bring you aboard and then, you come in here and then you don't have everything together. Now you making me look bad because we already got limited opportunities to begin with. So when I bring you on and you ain't up to par, they're going to look at me when I open my mouth again like, yo, come on, bro. Like, the dude you brought here the last time. You know what I'm saying? So our people got to be ready for the opportunities too.
That is true. That is true.
Hey, Coach, ask another question. What do you think these prep schools? Like, kids want to prep all the time. They rather prep and go Juco. What do you feel about that?
So, prep or post grad, it has to make sense for you. So let me lay out a scenario for you. You go to a public high school, right? So obviously, when you go to a public high school, you're not paying, and you don't get the looks that you feel you should have, and you get approached by a prep or post grad program, and then they tell you, well, it's going to cost you $5,000 to come here for 1 year. Now, I'm not against paying for it, right? But you're going to pay $5,000, right, to play another year of high school basketball against kids that are playing another year of high school basketball.
Right.
Right?
Yeah. Yes.
If you were really that good, they would probably pay your tuition for you. Because what a lot of people don't know, that the post-grad programs and the prep school programs have an A and B team. It's very similar to A.
Right.
So the guys that play on the A team, which are their national team, those guys are going for free. They travel all across the country. The guys that are on the B team that have to pay are paying for the A team to go to school for free.
There you go.
That's just like A.
Yeah. Yes.
Sounds like A.
So that's how it works. So again, I don't want to talk negative about post-grad because I've seen post-grad help. I'm just saying that it has to make sense for you, because if I'm going to pay $5,000, why not pay $5,000 and get a year's worth of college credit and then get film playing against grown men in college?
Thank you.
That's just my take on it. And again, I don't favor one over the other because I've coached at both. I had the opportunity to coach at a post grad. I did a year at NHACG Prep with Mr. Ali.
Oh,
yes.
Muhammad, I remember him.
Yes. Vince Robinson was there as well before he left and started his school. Now he's down. He's down south at a Division II. So, like I said,
Yep.
Yes. So, like I said, I'm not picking sides. I've been on both sides. I've seen it. I've seen it help. I've seen it not help. You know what I mean? I just feel like if I'm going to pay money, I want to get something out of it. I can pay money and get a year's worth of college credit. And after you do, and what a lot of people don't know, in order to move on from a Juco, you do not have to stay 2 years if you're not going Division I.
Okay.
You only have to stay 2 years and obtain your associate's degree if you're going to play Division I after that. If you have 24 transferable credits at the end of your freshman year playing junior college basketball, you can accept a Division II or an NAIA scholarship to a school. And you only have to play Juco ball for 1 year, and you can play 3 years at a 4-year school.
That's true.
A lot of people don't know.
Wow. Yeah. That's true.
Taught me something.
Yeah. So, you have to know your options, what's out there for you.
Right. That's so true, Al. That's knowledge right there. Yeah. That's knowledge right there. We allow ball players that have done that, and they weren't, and the thing about it, they weren't educated enough what they could do.
Hold on, Coach.
I'm here. I
gotta do something real quick.
Yeah, I'm here, Coach. I'm here.
All right. But like I said, it starts with knowledge. You got to be, you have to know what you can and can't do, what your rights are. And as a player, you have rights, especially as a collegiate player, when you earn that eligibility, the NCAA grants you 5 years to play for.
Yes, yes. Some, a friend of mine had told me, a friend of mine went after you in TNAC, and before I even got to the basketball thing, he explained that to me as well.
Yeah.
So,
they grant you. So now the NAIA is a little bit different. It's a little bit of the same concept, but they go by semesters. So what the NAIA does, they give you 10 semesters to play 8. Right?
Okay.
So it essentially is the same thing, but let me tell you how you can use it to your advantage. So you play your 4 years, right? At an NCAA
True.
school, right? And
yes,
you also have used your redshirt year. Let's just say it's a medical red shirt. And you decide, but you graduate in 3 years, right? You have the opportunity to go play NAIA ball someplace because you might have a semester or 2 left because the NAIA doesn't go by years, it goes by semesters.
Wow, because Coach, let me tell you something, a little history of myself. I stopped my boss of me when I was in high school a long time ago, but my first college I went to was NAI school. It was Xavier University of Louisiana, first
yes.
School, yeah. And I was a basketball statistician, so that's what I knew the team, everything.
Right.
And that was a great experience for me. I learned a lot from that.
Right.
Yeah, I learned a lot from that. So that's one thing I could say. NAI it was a very small situation, school, and now it's like it's blown up. They rebuilt everything.
Yeah.
It's good. It's a good situation now.
And one of the things that I really like to do is educate and inform people about the NAIA. Just due to the simple fact, there's only 3. Is there 3? Yes, there's 3 NAIA schools in the Northeast. There's Washington Adventist in Washington, D.C. There's Fisher College in Massachusetts, and there's University of Maine in Fort Kent. Those are the 3 Those are the 3 NAIA schools in this area.
Wow. Okay.
So there's not a lot of representation in the Northeast. So that's why so many players and coaches don't even know about the NAIA. Now, if you go down south, coach, like where you were, or go out to the Midwest, the NAIA is bigger out there than Division III. Where here in the Northeast, Division III basketball is bigger than NAIA ball, even though Division III doesn't offer scholarships. NAIA do. It's just that it's just not a lot of representation of NAIA schools in the Northeast. So what I try to tell coaches is that NAIA coaches in the Midwest and down south are dying to get kids from the Northeast.
True.
Kids from the Northeast, but they don't have eyes and ears up here. You know what I'm saying? And coach, this, the NAIA, they have much smaller budgets, so they don't have the luxury of traveling, flying across the country. You know what I'm saying? Like the Division IIs and the Division Is do. So part of what I do with my business, I am the eyes and ears for the NAIA schools outside of this region, and I tell them about the available talent in the area.
Oh, okay, that's cool, coach. Because when I was statistician, most of the time we were on buses. I think on a plane ride one time, I couldn't go because couldn't afford to take me, so I had to lay back.
Right.
You had to take back my phone.
Yeah. It was two of us. He was like a junior senior, so he took it with my man. I just came on board. So he said, "Hey, coach, you ain't going this time." But anyway, but the plane couldn't go. They would carry the couldn't go that way. But if a bus ride, I could go.
Yeah, man. NAIA is great.
Talent.
A lot of talent. A lot of your NAIA schools are historically Black colleges, especially in the South.
Yes.
And a lot of them are Christian schools, also in the Midwest.
True.
You know what I'm saying? So the academic requirements are a little bit different. Some people say that it's easy. It's not easier. Their academic requirements are just different. That's all. It's not like you can fail and go play NAIA basketball. Of course you can't. It's just they set their standards at a different level than some NCAA schools. But at the end of the day, it's still good basketball. And what I always tell parents and players, free is free. I don't care where
Yeah, exactly, coach.
what level. It doesn't matter their level. If they're paying for it, take the opportunity.
That's true. Hey, I got a great question for you.
Yes.
Well, no, you got a great question.
Well, go ahead. Question.
Well, hit them.
I always ask this time, everybody, what's your 5-year plan, coach? Your 5-year plan from now. What do you want to do in 5 years from now?
Ooh, man. Okay. That's tough because I'm an Aries and my brain is all over the place. My 5-year plan is I got a couple of things. So, and this is in no specific order. I'm just saying them as they come to my brain.
Sure.
I would like to help Middlesex win a national championship. I think it would be fantastic for me to win 2 national championships at 2 different schools. So that's a personal.
That's great. That's
great. Yeah.
Another goal of mine is to increase the exposure of under-recruited high school girls basketball.
Okay.
They need a tremendous amount of help. And a lot of the girls don't even understand about the Juco opportunities that are afforded to them. So I definitely want to focus a lot of my attention more towards the female basketball players and help them get as much exposure and as many opportunities to play as possible. Another thing that I would like to do is partner with some AAU programs or some AAU tournament coordinators, and have me come in and do some scouting and just try to bring their AAU tournament, bring it some light and exposure. There's a lot of tournaments that parents go to and they pay a lot of money and they drive there and then they say there's college coaches there and there's no college coaches there. So if you can't get the college coaches to come to your tournament, then reach out to me because I have the connections to the coaches, and I will come and I will do evaluations and breakdowns and all the players and teams at your tournament, and then I'll work with that tournament director to get the names and film out to the coaches.
Oh, that's tough.
That's cool. That's great.
Yeah, we be in some great stuff, so we be happy to hand this stuff out.
Definitely, coach. No doubt, definitely.
I would love to. I would also like to do some speaking engagements and talk how I just talked to you guys tonight to get into the elementary schools and start talking to these young boys and girls early and explaining to them about the recruiting process, explaining to them how important grades are, in your recruiting process. I think a lot of times we wait until they're juniors and seniors in high school to have that difficult conversation. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like when you put them in 6th, 7th, and 8th grade and talk to them about the 16 core courses that they have to take to even be eligible to receive a scholarship at the Division I level.
True.
You know what I'm saying? Like do that at an earlier point going into high school. Have them start taking the PSAT early. So when they get to high school, the SAT is not so overwhelming to them. You know what I'm saying? Like just equip them with the stuff that they need to be successful at an earlier age.
That sounds good, man. That sounds good.
That's awesome.
So you asked that. Okay, now it's my turn.
Right? Yeah, please, yes.
Okay. So, hey, as a
coach,
hey, it's 50-50.
Right.
So we always ask, man, I always ask,
right?
You was a coach at one time.
Yes.
What's a game that you lost that you wish you could take it back and did something different?
As a player or as a coach or both?
Player or coach. I'll take either or. I'm cool.
As a player,
that gotta haunt you like Halloween.
okay. Well then, as a player, definitely. We lost. We lost the state sectional championship in '93 to Hackensack High School.
Oh.
We were up 5 points with 30 seconds left in the game and lost.
Damn!
Wow! Whoa!
It can happen.
Sure can.
So that loss still bothers me. I still don't like Hackensack High School.
Okay.
And listen, and they have a fantastic athletic program, and they're one of the best in the state. But I still just don't like them personally because they took my state championship from me.
Oh, wow. I like that one, though. I like that. That just happened to me this weekend, so I'm good. Kind of like brought up a burning star, but it's okay. It's okay. That just happened to me. But I had a little bit more time, so I don't feel that. I feel bad for you though.
Listen, man, watching it unfold was probably the craziest thing ever. Like, we were up 5, we got fouled, we missed 2 foul shots, right? We come down, Hackensack hits a 4-point play. So
whoa,
that's 4 points, right? And I told you we were up 5. Now we go, we go to inbound the ball. They steal the ball on the inbounds pass, and now they're up 1 and they win.
Oh my God!
Yeah, that make you want to go home and kill yourself.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys remember when Miami was playing, the Miami Heat was playing the Spurs, right? And when Ray Allen hit that incredible shot, the Spurs said that they saw them wheeling the trophies out from the locker room.
Yeah.
And when Ray Allen hit that shot, they said they saw them wheeling it back. And that's the that's true. At Bayonne. We saw them bringing the trophies out. And then everything happened, and then it was just like it was a bad dream. I woke up and there was no trophy.
Wow!
Man.
Oh man, aspect one and
yeah,
podcast.
Yeah.
Hey, now last question from me. Like, your whole service, is it you do it in like tiers? Because I know none of this stuff is free, but maybe it is.
I do it in tiers. I have packages. That are as affordable as possible for what I'm giving you.
Right?
I detailed, the amount of work that I do. So I have to take that into consideration when I charge you. But at the same time, I'm not. I know I'm not going to get rich off of you either. You know what I'm saying? Where I'm going to get the most exposure for myself is a family that says, "Hey, man, I went to Coach Danny, and that guy did everything for me, and it was reasonable too. Like, he didn't hit me in the head with some crazy numbers. So that spreads. You know what I'm saying? It's word of mouth. So that's what I try to keep in mind. I'm a parent too. I'm a working parent. You know what I'm saying? Me and my wife, we do the best we can with our kids. So we definitely wouldn't want someone hitting us in the head for something crazy because we wouldn't be able to afford it.
That's true. That's true. That's true. Or you're taking out a loan. That's crazy.
Yeah, we've done it. We said, because my folks have done it.
Have done that.
They're done take $10,000 out, and as far as you went, was D2 school. Not just in D2 school, but the goal was going.
Might not even went to that.
The goal was going to go D1.
Right.
A lot of kids understand going D1. I always say to myself, somebody told me, "What do you do great? What do you do great?" That's what do you do great?
Well, that's basically what I say. What is your transferable skill? What do you have in your game that's gonna allow you to get minutes at the Division I level?
Right.
There you go.
If you don't have a legitimate transferable skill, that's going to be difficult for you. One of the players that I love to talk about most when I talk about transferable skill is another Jersey dude that played in the NBA for years, and he was dominant, at his peak, was Kenneth Fareed.
Oh, yeah, sure. He went to not no vocation. I'm sorry.
No,
he went into technology.
Technology.
Yes, sir. I remember him playing in high school. Yes, sir.
Kenneth Faried took his transferable skill, which is high energy, rebounding, and playing defense, right? And he had the best game he could possibly have against a Louisville team that was loaded with a bunch of probably first-round picks, right? And he knocked them out of the NCAA tournament, and that's what got him drafted. That was his transferable skill. Right. And then he took his transferable skill and it made him a couple of $1 million playing in the NBA.
Wow.
He knew exactly who and what he was as a player, and he didn't try to be something that he wasn't. He's 6'7", 6'8", he's strong, he's athletic, he blocks shots, he rim runs, he brings high energy, and he knows his role.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
True.
You know, you got to know who and what you are as a player, and then take who and what you are as a player and take it and be able to take that to a level where you can get max effort out of it every time you step on the floor.
That's it, Coach. That's it.
That's what's up.
That's it. Now, Coach, one more question for a while. Now, what's your selling point to getting kids to Middlesex County College? What's your selling point getting them to Middlesex County College? What's your selling point?
My selling point is come play for a coach that has won multiple national championships already. I know what that process looks like. I know what it takes to get you there. And also you can come play for a coach that has placed, oh my God, in those 6 years I broke there, I probably placed about 35 to 40 players between Division I and Division III and NAIA. So you come to me, you handle your business on the floor, I'll get you the exposure you need to get someplace after Middlesex.
Wow.
That's what's up.
That's what's up, Coach. That was up, Coach. Wow. Wow, Coach. That was tremendous, Coach. Tremendous, Coach.
Is there anybody on that has any questions for me in the comments, man? Like, if anything I can do to shed some light to help out any parents or players that are on listening to this, feel free to, ask any questions.
True.
We said before, right, Coach? Hey, Coach, my mom was a couple. I know we've been for a while. We don't too much longer. Now, Coach, there's no more tournament champions now. There's no more tournament champions. They did that. Why they did that? We think about that. Tournament champions is now no longer. We had the best game last year, Camden against RC was a Catholic. Mm-hmm. Now no more tournament champions now. What do you feel? Do you feel that's a plus or it's a negative? What do you feel about that?
Well, I mean, yeah, it's definitely. I don't see any pluses in it because how do you get a true champion of the state?
Yeah, that's the rough part.
The tournament itself was called the Tournament of Champions to get a true state champion. So, I don't know how we're going to evaluate that and find out who the real champion is. You know what? And it's worse for the kids, man, because that's what they play for. Like us as adults. Yep. We get to watch the season games and things of that nature, but those kids, that's what they live for. So to get that opportunity from them, I really wasn't feeling it. I guess they had a legitimate reason for making the move that they made. But listen, I'm an old school guy, man, and I remember watching St. Anthony's go to consecutive tournament after tournament after tournament champions. You know what I'm saying? And that was a big deal for me, even though my Bayonne teams never got a chance to play in that. Being able to go to the rack and watch it, or being able to go to Continental Airlines and watch it, it was a big deal, and we just don't have that anymore. And I don't like it. I'm sad about it.
Yeah, and their big reason is they lost money.
I don't say they lost money.
And I don't understand how they lost money.
That was packed. It was packed.
I'm packed. How did you lose money?
It lost money. But I think it was more of the division, like the group ones. Never seen the group one in the chip. Never seen the group two. It's usually like you gotta be like a powerhouse.
Well,
one time.
Say it was. It was.
Don't take it back to like
Bloomfield Tech against Bloomington against Sandy.
That was different.
Yeah, they lost. They was like undefeated Sandy. Went whole undefeated. Yeah.
Bloomfield Tech was tough.
Yeah.
They had like 2, 3, 4
D1 players.
They were tough. But that's, I think, is the coaches thing that they're crying. Well, it could be the coaches, could be the districts that they're crying about. You always going to see like a powerhouse 4 in a Catholic school, and we don't get a chance. Everybody puts on their sneakers at the same time and shorts and top. Anybody can win at any given Sunday. So if I'm Hackettstown and I gotta play Camden and we beat Camden, now you know what I'm saying? It's like that part I don't get.
I don't get that either. And I just think that I think that we're just we're just and we're not making the things competitive. Like there's nothing wrong with not being good enough. That is okay.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with that. I have no problem saying that when I was in high school, and if we had to play Marist for the county championship, they were better than us. And it's okay. That's fine. It just makes you go back to the drawing board and makes you work a little bit harder to try to beat that team next year. And you may not beat them next year either. And that's okay too.
Right.
That's okay too, because these same things happen at the professional level.
That's true.
That's so true. That's so true, Coach. Wow.
And I know a lot of people don't, know they're casual fans and they really don't know the history of the NBA. But the Celtics won 8 championships in a row.
True.
Like, you think the other teams in the NBA got tired of losing to them?
Right.
Like, come on. And then, so then let's take it to something that's a little bit more closer to us. Look at the 80s. The 80s were dominated by 2 teams playing in the NBA Finals. It was the Lakers and the Celtics. No other team got a top.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying? Because the other teams just weren't good enough.
True. I'm a diehard Knicks fan. I know. I know.
And then you being a Knicks fan, you take it to the Bulls era. The Knicks were a good team. They just couldn't beat the Bulls.
Right. Because try 2-0, all of a sudden Michael Jordan. Hey.
Okay, so to the people that feel that way, like, oh, well, the group 1s and the group 2s don't get a chance. Listen, that's just the way things play out. Just be the best team that you can be at your level. And if you can win group 1, win group 1.
That's it.
You're good from there. You might be like that NCAA state team and come out of nowhere.
That's it.
So it's okay. So I'm sad about that, man. It was something, like I said, the kids really look forward to. When you went to the rack and watched those games were filled with high school kids.
True.
Oh, please. You tell them, Coach, yes.
And the parent had to drag them down there.
Love the atmosphere. That's the closest thing for them. Some of them are ever going to get to a college atmosphere.
Yep.
That's it.
They're watching their peers in high school. So the fact that that's been taken away from them, man, like I said, I just don't like it. I'm not a fan of it.
Nah, we're not neither.
Not at all.
We're definitely not.
It's like, because I came out of high school in 1979. So when I got 79, after the group was over, that was it. Season was done. Right. There's no champions. I won it back then. Who was champion back then? Man, we had some great ball players here.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, Coach, one more thing I gotta ask you, and I'm gonna let you go because I know you got to go home with your wife and everything. You got things to do. Your top 5 players, high school basketball, and I'll say tri-state, New Jersey, New York. Your top 5 players, and right now, top 5 players, and right now.
Right now?
Yeah, right
now. That's tough. I can honestly tell you, just where I coach, I'm not in play to get any of those guys, so I don't watch them. I'll never be able to recruit any of those kids to come to Middlesex, so I don't watch high school basketball as much as I probably should. But what I will do, I will give you my top 5 high school basketball players from the state of New Jersey.
All right, cool.
Kyrie.
Definitely right.
Okay, cool.
Though you always say ain't from, that's a whole nother story.
We gotta get up. Kyrie.
Kyrie is phenomenal. Luther Wright.
Luther Wright was tough.
Okay.
Luther Wright was tough.
To me, Luther Wright was probably the most physically dominant basketball player I ever seen in the state of New Jersey.
Yeah, he was tough.
Yeah, I don't know too many dudes that were more physically dominant than him.
He's a big boy.
He was a big boy.
Tim Thomas.
Oh yeah, okay, cool, okay.
Tim Thomas was tough.
Yes, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I got a couple of people in my head.
Honorable mention. You're fine.
Okay, so Pat Sullivan from Bogota.
Oh yes, North Carolina boy, North Carolina, sure. Oh yes, oh yeah.
I played against Pat in high school. That dude did me dirty.
He's tough. He's tough.
Roderick Rhodes.
Roderick, yes, sir.
Rogers was tough.
Yes, he was.
He was tough.
Yes,
Yeah.
Yes, he was.
Roderick was the #1 high school basketball player in the country his senior year.
Yes, he was. We saw him, we saw him on prep alumni, and we played against him down the rack. We trained at the rack. We had Brother Knight, sophomore, Ira Bowman.
Right.
Yeah.
And my alternate, man, this is tough. I got 3 people in mind.
All right.
I got 3 people in mind, and I'm gonna say the names, and I'm gonna let y'all choose them. Chris Gent.
Okay, Sparta.
He was tough.
DeJuan Wagner.
Oh, big boy, yeah. Oh God. Yes.
And Anthony Perry.
Anthony Perry.
When he went to Sam, he went to Georgetown. Yeah. Bro, right now, if you asking me a question right there, hands down, you know it's gonna be DeJuan Wagner. Okay.
Wagner was different.
He better than the sun, bro. That boy, I went to see them when they played Monteverde. His son DJ in Monteverde at the Curious Arena, went down there when they played him up this past year. His father, we said to each other. His father was straight out score, pure shooter.
Yeah.
Oh,
he
hands down.
He was something different. He was something.
Thank you.
He was.
He had one of those rare combinations of superior athleticism. He was a freak athlete.
Yes, he was.
On top of being incredibly skilled with the basketball.
That's true.
Yes.
That's definitely true.
Oh, yeah.
That's a rare combination, because there are guys that are tall, there are guys that can handle, but Wag, man, he was a machine. Like, you just could not. You couldn't keep him from getting to do whatever it was that he wanted to do. If he wanted to get to the rack, he was getting to the rack. If he was coming down, he was pulling up, and you wasn't going to stop
it. You're definitely right.
Yeah, we saw like you say Anthony's like senior year. They lost Anthony's, but he even had shot like pass like before I had like half court like whoop. You saw how that foul like damn.
Yeah, he was an incredible basketball player, man. It's so unfortunate that his NBA career didn't, materialize the way we all thought because of the injuries and whatever he was diagnosed with. But listen, he did play. The dudes in the NBA saw what it was.
True.
They saw what it was, even though it was a small sample. They still saw what it was.
That's definitely true.
He was tough, though.
He definitely was tough.
Yeah, man. Listen, we've been on long enough, man. We think you've been coming on.
We'll be out here till like.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You
got to work, I got to work, and he trying to try for the NBA. So I don't know what happened on tonight.
No, I ain't going with that.
But I want to thank you guys, sincerely, man. I want to thank you guys, man. This is a fantastic opportunity. It was great just to be able to talk to you guys and just be able to give out knowledge, to the masses, man. That's what I love doing. That's what I enjoy doing. I love educating and empowering parents, players, and coaches through this recruiting process, man. So if you guys ever do anything else, if you ever have any other kind of forum, I would love to be a part of it. Please don't hesitate to reach out, man. Anything that I can do to help with your guys' teams, please just let me know.
Hey, bro, we got your number anyway. So we'll hit you up anyway, bro.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, last thing, because this is gonna be saved and you get it back. How can parents or players, how do they contact you? What's your thing? Like, what?
You can reach out to us on Instagram at NHACG Recruiting. You can also find me on Twitter at NHACG Recruiting. That's the best way. Reach out, DM me, send me a message. Let me know that you need some help with your recruiting, and we can get started on the process.
There we go.
Perfect, coach. We got a couple players. We put players. We send you too. Got a couple players. We send you too. Don't send you also, coach. So,
like I said, I'll come down to the gym. I'll watch a couple of practices, and I can just tell you guys straight up on the spot where I see certain players, and we can put a plan together to help market these young people.
Sounds good to me,
coach. Sounds good to me, coach. No doubt, coach. That's great. Perfect.
Definitely sounds good.
That's perfect.
Hey, so we're gonna let you go. Thank you for coming on the Blaze.
Yeah, thank you so much.
This episode long before
139.
Reach out to IG or Twitter. Yeah. All right, so somebody put it up there.
Yeah, I put it up there for you, coach.
All right, thank you so much, guys. Have a good night, guys.
We're gonna send it to you.
All right.
Have a nice night.
We'll be right now.
Thank you.